irises, if you thought about it too long, might strike you as being a bit too large. There's a lot about me that is just a bit too. My fingers a bit too long, a bit too tapered. My lips a bit too thin. My smile a bit too wide. My frame a bit too delicate. My nose and cheekbones a bit too sharp. If you saw a photograph of me, you would be able to enumerate most of these things. I would seem to you to be perhaps just odd-looking, or perhaps stretched too thin. A painting of me would not capture such mathematical details. In person, even in repose, you might also decide that I am beyond ordinary, but it would be hard to put your finger on anything in particular. You might find me unsettling. Most find me charming. Some very few distrust me on sight. In either case, my presence throws them slightly out of equilibrium, and people off balance are easier to tip in the direction you'd like them to go.
Our grandmother, Kukumbena, the author of life. Our grandmother shaped the land masses and bodies of water, bringing order out of chaos. She created the first man and woman who became the parents of the Shawnee. She established the guardian spirits and Shawnee ceremonies, dances, and rituals. She left instructions to her people about what they should and should not do, and then she returned to the sky world from whence she had come, where she weaves her schemato, doomsday net. When she finishes her work, she will cast down her net, hauling up only the good and true to live with her in the sky world. Sound familiar?
Is that what you believe?
As much as anyone believes the metaphors they use to understand their lives. The beauty of metaphors is they can be two things at once. You don't have to choose between what you know and what you can't know. Simile, the sun is like the eye of the firmament. That is mundane. Metaphor, the sun is the eye of the firmament. That's transformative. That's the root of magic.
About you, Mr. Winter, what metaphors do you believe in?
The sun stared down at me, and I avoided its gaze. I believe in all of them.
When the sun sets, be silent. When the sun rises, hold tight to that silence. If you feel you cannot be silent, leave this place before the words leave your mouth. There's nothing wrong with packing it up and going back to camp to roast some ballpark franks. But do not break the silence. You cannot hear the songs of the spirit if your voice and body and mind are not still. Of course, you do realize the visions are caused by starvation, dehydration, and exposure.
Emily raised an imaginary glass.
Dehydration.
I'll drink to that.
Did a rhinoceros take away your mommy and daddy, or a crocodile 5 foot 6? Do you live in an orphanage? Want to hear a dream I had? I was a zombie and I ate up all the people and I ate mom and daddy, and then I was a lonely girl.
She spun around in a slow circle, eyes on her shoes.
Tick-tock, killer croc, tick-tock, killer croc, tick-tock, killer croc.
Finally, she came to a stop and regarded me for a long time.
Are you lost?
You already asked me that.
Oh, what did you say?
I'm not sure.
Are you hungry?
Yes.
So are they.
Who?
The horrible fiends.
Who?
Al says who? Let's pretend that I'm a little girl and you're a horrible fiend. Come on, stand up.
Why?
Let me start with what? You can chase me, and I'll say, you can't catch me in the lemonade tree, and I'll use my super magic power to make your teeth fall out, and I'll say, be alive or be dead. I'll grind your teeth to make my bed. Want to hear a dream I had? I was in my room, and then I woke up, and it was dark, and my dad was standing in the door, and I said, hello, Daddy. What are you going to say? And his face was all white. He just stood there, and his face was all white, and I tried to wake up with him, and his face was all white, and he didn't say anything.
We have a ritual, and it always starts the same. My name is Elliott Miller, and the veil was lifted from my eyes a little at a time by all of you and by the ones who came before you. When I started collecting your stories, I thought they were just that, stories. Things that came from the imagination of the impressionable, the paranoid, the drug-addled, the schizophrenic, the delirious, the insane. At first, I didn't believe you. Later, I didn't want to believe. Now I'm here to believe you, even when the cops don't, even when your family and friends don't.
Like a moth to a flame, Mr. Watson.
Blood in the water, Mr. Nichols.
The ruddy-faced man produced a syringe.
Who wants shots?
For he's a jolly good fellow, Mr. Watson.
Behind, Mr. Winter.
The needle delivered its charge.
Eat, drink, and be merry, Mr. Watson.
For tomorrow, thinly veiled threat, Mr. Nichols.
Geezer threw up his hands. Grumbling, he tossed a cigarette. The street preacher watched Geezer stalk off in a trail of muttered profanities.
Notice how that donation never surfaced. Typical.
I dug into my pocket and found a Hamilton. As he reached to take it from me, his hand trembled, and the bill fluttered to the sidewalk. He stared at it, his brow furrowing.
Concrete. The way is concrete.
He retrieved the fallen frog skin and handed me a pamphlet.
Oh, and in case I was too opaque, it's not safe here at night, even for persons who aren't strictly persons.
He was singing to himself, and flecks of pastry and powdered sugar arced into the air along with his jovial aria.
All the ducks are swimming in the water. The ducks are swimming in the water all around.
Geezer gave a small wave as we approached. The man waved back and continued singing until it became clear that we meant to speak to him. He tugged the wires from his ears. We introduced ourselves, and he offered us donuts, which I cheerfully accepted. Do you spend a lot of time around here?
Lately,
Have you ever seen anything unusual?
totally, man. One time, I saw this guy in a hat and trench coat, and this nice dressed lady, and this big guy, and this biker, and this, pardon my French, you're a trash looking dude in a purple suit. And they showed up at a dog park, and get this, not one of them had a dog. Coincidence? Or something more?
We once considered it a harmless pastime, but now think of mason baiting as a civic duty. With meaningless runes left in the graffiti and staged prophetic dreams, Canton's actual practitioners have kept the childish masons from exploiting the city's true power. An annual competition is held for the most creative deceptions, with last year's winner fooling a public official into dancing naked on the roof of the Ernesto during the height of winter. I aim to win this year, and with your help, I believe I can.
I dream of my dead body. It's a skeleton, bare and raw as boiled chicken bones. Then the flies come, settling like vultures, except instead of eating, they're putting back, vomiting muscle and tendons, organs and skin, everything that made up my flesh. It's like watching bread mold over, my body being built back up. Eventually, horseflies bring my teeth back, my lips smoothed over by slugs. The worst is the eyes unclouding. I've died so many times. There's no getting over it. Nothing to look forward to. Except you.
He's not the type who's going to take a meeting with hoi polloi like us, so we can ask him if he's an evil monster.
To which he'd answer, "Why, yes, I am. Please enjoy this PowerPoint presentation outlining our organizational structure and best practices, followed by a guided tour of our lair."
However, this Saturday is the Canton Chamber of Commerce's Canton Club Hobnobbing for Hunger Hootenanny.
Not the actual name, so don't get your expectation.
And I have been assured that His Highness Herschel Belden III is practically guaranteed to attend.
Assured by whom?
Extremely unlikely League of Church Secretaries.
Also not an actual thing.
An actual thing of which I am a part, but which sadly has no official designation. Anyway, I volunteer at a lot of charity events, and on the charity circuit you see a lot of the same faces, so I've made some friends well above my tax bracket. I've helped Sissy Saxton organize a few events in the past, and when I let her know I was interested in attending the Hobnobbing for Hunger Hootenanny, she offered to pay for our tickets.
So try not to embarrass Emily in front of her high society friends?
Mightn't it be wiser to leave the biker and the pugilist at home with the nanny?
Bill's not wrong, unless I'm the nanny in this scenario.
I don't know. If it turns out we're walking into a nest of vipers, we'll meet everyone, which is what I'll tell Geezer when he tells me we should leave you at home. On the other hand, this party should be a place where no one would try to take us out, however much they might want to.
Unless Red and Geezer decide to make with the gratuitous chaos, in which case our scouting party turns into a dead man's party.
I'll talk to them both, again. But we have to trust each other. We have to, or this all falls apart.